Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So in today's video, we are going to learn together teaching methodologies. For teachers, it is very important to decide the best teaching methodology possible before the teacher decides to teach any topic or before the teacher enters in the classroom. The teacher has to write the lesson plan, and the prime thing that needs to be mentioned in the lesson plan is teaching methodology. So in this video, we are going to learn how many types of teaching methodologies are available and which one are the most appropriate ones to be selected for our teaching and learning. Let's see what teaching methodology is. Basically, it is a term refers to the general principles and management strategies used for classroom instructions. Teaching methodology can be further elaborated as it is your choice of teaching method which depends on what fits you, your educational philosophy, classroom demographic, and subject area. Teaching methodology can be categorized into teacher-centered approach, student-centered approach. In today's video, we will be focusing on teacher-centered approach. Teacher-centered approach is also known as traditional method of teaching, and you can also refer to it as deducted method. You know what happens in traditional method of teaching? It is basically, it focuses on teacher. The entire teaching and learning focuses on the teacher. It completely depends on the teacher. So, taken to its most extreme interpretation, teachers are the main authority figure in a teacher-centered instruction model. Students are viewed as empty vessels who passively receive knowledge from their teachers through lectures and direct instruction, with an end goal of positive results from testing and assessment. A teacher centered learning environment is one in which the focus is primarily on the instructor, means the teacher. The teacher chooses the topic, the teacher talks and the students listen. What the teacher knows about the subject takes priority. The teacher monitors and corrects student work as needed. The teacher is solely responsible for answering students' question. The teacher evaluates students' performance and evidence of learning. The classroom is quiet all the time, most of the time. So basically, your entire teaching and learning depends upon the teacher. And the students are most of the time quiet and they are not even allowed to speak up. Like I remember decades ago when I was in the school. So I was also taught through this traditional method of teaching. The teacher used to stand in front of the class. We used to sit quietly. We were so scared that we were not used to of asking questions. We were completely dependent. It was like we just needed to note down whatsoever the teacher is explaining or writing on the board. We have to memorize it, rote learn it, and produce it as it is in the paper. And this is how I studied particularly. Why should I talk about we? As far as I remember, my childhood, my school journey, it was completely traditional style of teaching. So, some of the traditional styles of teaching or teacher centered methods are here in front of you. The first one is the most common one, lecture method, and even it is still used. Um, in higher classes, somehow it is fine that the teacher is standing in front explaining the entire topic and the students are listening and making notes. Somehow it can be implemented because it is the demand of the topic, but not at every level or not while teaching every topic. So, lecture method is one of the traditional styles of teaching where a direct instruction method is followed by the teacher, and the prime responsibility of the teacher is only to provide information, present information. That is the only job of the teacher. The teacher doesn't care whether it is understood by the students or not. The prime responsibility is just to explain the entire topic in a go, or maybe in chunks, depending upon the time frame. In demonstration method, what happens? Demonstration means to showcase something, to show. The teacher shows how to operate, manipulate an equipment while students observe passively. They just sit at a distance and they observe everything that is shown to them. That is it. After teacher demonstration, chance is given to students in order to check their understanding or mastery of skill. I think in most of the cases where demonstration method is used, the teacher only shows and students are not even given the chance to use it, to touch it, or to perform it, like in science subjects, in chemistry, physics. Say, so the entire experiment is just shown to them. They are not asked to perform it. In some of the schools, it is still being practiced. In some where they think about student-centered learning. They definitely involve students in that teaching and learning, and they engage them. They focus on their learning more. Right now, we are talking about demonstration method, where it is primarily focused on the teacher. Drill and practice method, as the name itself suggests that it is drill and practice, means repeat and practice. This method of instruction is characterized by systematic repetition of concepts, examples, and practice problems. Like most of you must remember it that we used to rote learn and memorize things by repeating again and again. Like you have to repeat it verbally. Sometimes even the students were asked to rewrite it again and again on the notebook, so that until and unless they memorize it. So it promotes the acquisition of skills and knowledge through repetition. Again, it is teacher-centered. And then dictation. The teacher reads information aloud, and students are supposed to note it down on their notebook, write it down, often focusing on punctuation and spelling. This is again the teacher centered method where dictation methodology is followed. Let's see some of the drawbacks or disadvantages of teacher centered classroom. Students work individually, the lack of collaboration or active participation hinders their communication skills and confidence too, because they are not supposed to work in pairs or groups. They are individually sitting and doing their work. So it definitely affects their communication skills. It can be boring or lethargic for students as their minds may wander and they may miss important facts. It gives very less or no control to students. They are not allowed to express themselves, ask questions, and direct their own learning. So, this is all about teacher centered approach, methodology that is still being used in at most of the places. So, that's all for teacher centered approach. I'll see you in the next one with more teaching methodologies. Bye bye.